Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Teeth and Lies. My name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be the Dungeon Master of the game. Now, Teeth and Lies is a part of an ongoing storyline. That of the Gatecrashers. They are rainbow-coloured heroes, agnostic beings who think that God's involvements... No. It's down to heroes to save the day. But first of all, let me introduce you to my players and some of our supporters and our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, and my character, Syrah, uses she, they pronouns. Syrah is a security and interplanetary relations restoration automaton and is an alternate world version of Sarah from A Divergent Dream. Syrah was also created by Nanny, a different Nanny, this time a dimension-travelling gatecrasher, and as their name suggests, they were created to help the Gatecrashers with their interplanar work, and they've been programmed to serve the Gatecrashers directive. At all costs?
Hi, I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns, and this is Bernard Hart, rockstar legend. And backing me up today, we've got on the bass guitar, anti-sulfuric. On the rhythm guitar, we've got anti-hydrochloric. And on the drums, we've got ant battery. Yes, this is Heartburn and the Art Acids.
Hi, I'm Lola, pronouns they, them, and I will be playing Irerai. Irerai the Lightbringer. Pronouns are Z, Zem, and Zir. Z is an interplanar traveler in Zero right, and is somehow recently being inducted into the gig? We don't know. We don't really understand, but there are no alternate versions of them. There's only one. What happened there?
Hello, my name's Niall. I use he, him pronouns, and my character is called Ruin, and she uses she, her pronouns. She is a dark and twisted character with a deep, sad, tragic backstory that is hidden behind an iron mask, and even more infernal iron. She's found in the depths of hell, more specifically the first layer, so not that deep when you think about it. But she died, or she would have died if it wasn't for a gatecrasher that saved her. Now, will she continue her vengeance or whatever it is that she was doing before the gatecrashers? Who knows? But we'll find out together this season in Teeth and Lies.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check out their entire selection, including some limited Roll Together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps, at checkout, you'll get 25% off your next purchase.
Big love to our D20 Club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 Club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok by searching Roll Together RPG, or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Didn't they do well? Let's get to it. Let's save the multiverse. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. And welcome, everyone. Once again, I can say, folks, let's get ready. And then someone will always have a little sippy. Someone will be doing the Sudoku. Someone will be doing a little sippy of the Sudoku. But welcome to Teeth and Lies. Those of you who've seen me before know how I have a habit of going off on wild little tangents. So let's actually get down to business to defeat the multiverse. Yeah, no Huns, they're gone. Actually, I'm going to start it off with a roll. Sean, could you roll me a performance check, please?
Absolutely, I can do that. Yeah. Well, that's an appalling roll, but fortunately I've got plus 15, so that's a dirty 20.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 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 boom. We are now in a tavern. It's one of those nondescript taverns that you think that most adventures begin in. And what do you know, folks? We're starting in a tavern. On a small stage to the far side of the bar, there is a small platform. On it, there are 3 figures. On the drums, there is a lizard folk who is slightly too big. The large sticks struggling, as I would say they didn't roll a good performance check, but they are able to keep something that resembles the beat. Near the front and sharing the spotlight with our third member, there is a elven woman. Long red hair, tiny little hat bands on the side of her head, playing a violin very intensely. It's quite a look. As she sort of swells, her large skirts reveal rainbow patterns which flash in the light. And our third member, rocking out with a dirty 20. Sean, could you reintroduce us to this most talented of musicians?
Okay, so I am a red-skinned fire genasi with a burning mohawk made entirely of fire, fiery goatee as well. Wears kind of quite orcish style, like leather straps and pauldrons and very kind of punk rocky, mostly black leather and spandex sort of trousers, playing a red V-shaped electric guitar. I say it's electric, it's, some sort of magic, surely. Is just rocking away. I think because of the role, it's good. Let's be honest, it's the best that some of the people in the audience have ever seen. But he's probably not putting his all into this one. I'm not sure as to why. Maybe he's been at it for a while. Maybe it's just the Milton Keynes of this universe.
I'm afraid it is. In fact, you are playing the end of the pier in fantasy Milton Keynes. It's very much that the band has brought a vibe which these people aren't used to. As I said, with like drums, everything has drums. Violin, again, also shooting off sparks. They're like, yeah, but this magical electric crazy guitar, it is very much that scene in Back to the Future as everyone in the bar kind of sit there going, so I think that's the thing. You play it to the excellence that Bernard can play, but there isn't the heart there. But that's not being cared about by the people who, as you're screeching into the next song, you watch as someone does in fact get hit by a chair, and the attention is slightly drawn away from that.
Oi, eyes on me!
Yeah, okay, make what role would you like? Would you like persuasion? Would you like a performance, intimidation? What kind of vibe do you want to
That was definitely going for intimidation.
roll? Intimidation.
I will do this. I don't really care about intimidating them either. That's only a 13.
That's fine. Okay. Again, it's for those of you who've been to a concert where it's like the band starts shouting things at you and people are like, "Yay! We are little piggies, you're right." So eyes are sort of like drawn to you, and then like, again, if we look at the face of one of these sort of like dock workers who looks at you as a fist comes in and just you're able to
Maybe look at what you're doing instead.
they go back to the fight, and the elven woman who is been trying to, who used to be known as Gatecrasher, is now trying things out. Has like tried to put like a silver key on a poster, and then they were like, so she's trying to work out a name. You know, it was actually stated by the DM of a game that maybe this was in fact the band known as Crash and Burn, and you know, you're workshopping through it, but Gatecrasher kind of like sighs and looks at you and is like, kind of like looks at you and is like, do you want to keep playing or do you just want to cut your losses and hope that the fight's gonna, what do you feel? She's ambivalent. I think she's getting the same exhaustion that you seem to be showing as well. It's been a long tour of the multiverse.
Bernard, I think it is purely pride at this point, wants to get to the end of the gig, but the other part of Bernard really wants to join in the fight. It's just kind of watching it, just like jealous, just like someone cracks someone in the jaw. It's like, that could be me.
Again, sure, I don't want to tell you what to do. Do you want to roll a D100 to see if you can if you'll perform? Or I tell you what, I could roll for you. Do you want odds or evens?
I think I quite like my odds.
Yeah. So this is to decide if you're going to keep playing or not. I've rolled a 4.
I love that this is an odds and evens, not a wisdom saving throw.
Just again, it's not even like he's being, you know, what is the wisdom of stopping mid-show and starting a fight? I'd say
clear, I've got a +0, so it would still be odds or evens.
Yeah, I was going to say, as we have a small group of performers here, we've all wanted to start a fight mid-show, right? Just like I could take that person out,
especially hecklers.
Yes, now myself having worked in immersive theatre, there's been a few people who are like, we could just rumble.
There's so many people I have fought with now.
It's true.
No, I've literally like strong-armed people out of immersive attractions before. So
yeah. And it needs to happen, folks. We're coming for you. Anyway, Bernard, you just gonna leap into this bar fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue playing, I think.
Yeah,
but you know, my mind's on the fight now.
Okay, what is the opening move? Are you going to be using your weapon as a weapon? Are you using your instrument as a weapon, or are you just going to start?
No, I'm going to kind of as I do a power chord, I'm going to slide my fist down and into someone's face.
Roll an attack.
I will do this.
Meanwhile, the lizard folks just there going, drums! Drums! Boom, 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 boom. Gatecrashers like, diddly, diddly, diddly,
26.
26. Crack. Are you trying to hurt? Are you just trying to knock out? Are you trying to kill?
I'm trying to knock out. I'm not killing people who've come to my gig.
I think that's fair. I'm not even going to ask you to roll damage because I think this is an accepted thing that you just like.
I'll sign the bruise after.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what happens as we hear the music and we're like, drums. We pan up onto the stage, and then we pan back down, and like Gatecrasher is sitting there smoking. The drum lizard's like, I had fun, and she's like, yeah, great. As we're panning up, things are smashed, things are on fire. There is one of the large dock workers has kind of got his arm around you and is putting another pint down and going, Yeah, I mean, we don't get much entertainment here, but you guys, you key guys, you're all right. I'd say the surrounding dock workers are looking a lot more battered than you are. I think they've got a couple of blows in, but you're fine. This is life on the transcendental road.
Oh, you've got to know your audience, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I like the music stuff, but sometimes you just need to, blow off steam.
I know about that.
Hold on.
I'll take my pint and I'll pour it over my head and like fizzle the mohawk out, but then it just.
There is the stink of boiling beer, and just like some people who are not in the best shape or have to hurry out. The barman just looks at the band and is like, Gatecrashers like, we'll pay. He's like, you bet you'll pay. She's like, yeah. This done, sort of, eventually people clear out. Gatecrasher gets out her book and is like, okay, so I guess we're not going back to Duskfall. Okay,
why not?
cross that out. And, well, it's just... We'll give it some time. I mean, these dock workers do seem to like you, but, I mean, we've been banned from here, the Rusty Carrot, End of the World, Godless Sun. Most bars, I mean, either you or Gestures, as the folk is kicking the drums, going, drums! It's like either or him. We're running out of places on this plane to play, Bernard. Although she kind of sort of looks at you and goes, I mean, I'm getting a make an insight. Well, actually, what's your passive insight?
My passive insight's not great. It's 12.
Yeah. Do you want to make an insight roll? She kind of ums and ahs.
I'll go for it, but my rolls haven't been amazing.
That's fine.
That is a 12.
12. You're not fully grasping it, but, Bernard's been in bands. And when band members start doing the kind of feeling, you kind of get a feeling that, things... There might be a reason you're not coming back to Duskfall. She seems tired.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we have been travelling for about a year now, and I mean, I was running away from all it. Kind of gestures down to the very colourful skirt she's wearing. It might not be a bad idea for us to, go check in, see how they're all doing. I mean, as much as I enjoy getting in a bar fight every night, sometimes you miss your bed.
No, that's fair. Touring life is hard.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to check in on the old bunch?
Yeah. I mean, sort of like maybe we. Yeah, if you're down for that, we go back, we check in, get a few solid meals.
Make sure it hasn't all collapsed in on itself.
As we say that, we transition 6 months ago. We are in Gatecrasher headquarters. This is one of the canteens, and it looks very much like a school canteen. There are wooden benches, large wooden tables that people can sit in. The room, if we're talking as a school, the room is full of a uniform, which is a lot of rainbow-coloured clothing. And again, there's varieties. There's a few, again, lizard people who are just rainbow-coloured. But sort of set up on one of the tables, there is a white tabaxi, small. Her eyes are sort of rolled back in her head. A key sort of floats in front of her, and she's sort of there going, okay, so Broken Glass is preparing something. Wait, hold on. Eyes flick. Okay, timeline, focus. A small kobold is sort of not holding on to her tail, but has got his like claws next to it and sort of tense, trying to comfort her, but she's very much in it. The camera is sort of panning around. There are probably about a dozen Gatecrashers and Gatecrashers assistants here from all walks of life. But again, there's an Aarakocra who is glaring. There are a few sort of some characters who I'm not going to go into detail because they're going to turn up in a one-shot. But we now pan over to a human woman. She is quite sort of small. So some people would say dumpy. I would say she's well-fed, well-loved. She has a tin of biscuits, which she is just very quietly like going into and eating. They are like those iced biscuits, shortbread with the icing on the top. And she sort of looks, and then she offers the tin slightly, not down as far as some would go, to her companion who is standing next to her. Nat, who is out of politeness being offered a delicious icy biscuit?
Out of an unnecessary politeness in this case. This is Syrah, legally distinct from a character called Sarah that I played in a different campaign. This is a whole different multiverse, folks. However, there's some similarities. Syrah is just over 3 foot tall, silver chassied autonome, small robot, and has eyes that feel like they contain galaxies. That sort of swirling purpley gold sparkle going on. Rather than being dressed like a Victorian schoolgirl, like the prime roll together timeline Sarah, this one is dressed in gleaming gold and silver armor with touches of color here and there to reflect the sort of the rainbow clockworky vibes of the Gatecrashers. Hair sort of cut in a short bob with a sort of metal, like a helmet, but still got to be cute. So it's like a little metal beret on top, and I don't know, Tom, what the decorum would be in this situation if we are just in the canteen. Like, is there an armory in Gatecrasher HQ, like all arms stored and then only taken out on missions, or would she be carrying at all times?
I mean, there is a certain sense of decorum of, yes, you will go check in your weapons, but also Gatecrashers, they love to break the rules, and if you can, I don't know, obfuscate your weapon in any way, it is very much, you wouldn't deprive an old man of his stick, would you? So, what?
She's carrying a banner.
That's
like a medieval style long pole. Ignore the very sharp blade at the end of it, the Naginata style blade, but it's got a big flag on it.
You wouldn't deprive Gatecrasher of her standard bearer, would you? How tall is this pole? If you're like 3 foot, is it?
Oh, it's like 5 foot.
Yeah. What's on the banner?
I mean, okay. So, do the Gatecrashers have a logo? Is it a silver key?
It's a silver key, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a silver key on a rainbow background.
Folks, I can't lie. It's
cogs.
Fabulous. It's just cogs and key. It's a strong look. And as the banner flaps slightly, weird, no wind, but there's still.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, I think I have mage hand. I can make it flap.
Is that what you've been doing with your action as you've been watching this tabaxi like try and see through the verses, and then you're just like mage hand.
Cinematic flapping of standard. Yeah.
So with all that, a tin of biscuits in a what looks to have been like an old sewing kit, reversing the usual surprise you have when you get offered a tin of biscuits, is now being offered to you. Gatecrasher knows it's redundant. Gatecrasher is still very polite.
Most kind. Thank you, Gatecrasher.
Oh, you're welcome.
She will take the biscuit, and I think she probably has a special biscuits pocket that she puts the biscuits in. And then later, when Gatecrasher has gone to bed, Syrah will deposit said biscuits in the bin.
Oh, just straight into the bin. You don't try and put them back in the tin, but just, oh God.
They'll have got linty by then.
That's true. No, nothing. Although, folks, we all do know the charm of a grandmother's linty biscuit. What are you talking about, Tom? Anyway, so, yes. There will always be...
I prefer Lint's chocolates, but, you know.
Tina's choice. Yes, you secrete your icy biscuit in one of your biscuit pockets. Nat, why are you looking at me like that? It's a perfect... I'm not making it Rudy Crudy. You're all making it Rudy Crudy. I am a paragon of politeness, and let's see what that tabaxi, the tabaxi, who you know as Fall of Light Snow, who is the... Again, it's been trained up to be the keeper of the Gatecrashers. Keeper, in fact, is the small kobold who is monitoring. Fall of Light Snow is also what people would call an oracle. It seems from whatever her timeline was that she had been basically imprisoned in a temple to see the future until a Gatecrasher, a small kobold Gatecrasher, had basically dragged her out, and then everyone had been like, no, we need to know what about the war, and Gatecrasher, now Keeper, was like, no, she's going somewhere where she's allowed to eat. So, yes, so Fall of Light Snow is basically trying to broadcast a battle that you came back from one of your adventures to find out that a small group of basically mercenaries had been sent out to get rid of one of the big problems for the Gatecrashers, a former assistant, a Kenku, whose name was Broken Glass, and the human voice can't make the noise of shattering glass, but that's what Broken Glass's name actually is, as a Kenku making the noise.
I beg to differ. Give me 1 second.
No.
Swallow your food first, Niall.
Yeah, you drink your blue milk.
Did you hear that?
I heard. Okay. So.
That's Broken Glass, isn't it?
That's yeah. Hey, people watching at home, just take a moment to make some sound effects. We will see. It's fun. We're having anyway. It's worth pointing out that this entity, believed to have been corrupted by some ancient god, has gone on to kill quite a few Gatecrashers. But now they are supposedly being taken down by this group, a multiversal group. Also, some kind of raccoon cat thing. Also, anyway, one of the greatest princesses of this at any age.
And the greatest threat on the Gatecrashers board, right, Tom? The biggest threat, the highest threat.
Hey, do you want to roll me a history roll, Syrah? Because, folks, this was something I was going to drop on that later, but we can look at it now.
That's a 7.
Syrah has not looked at the board recently. It's worth pointing out that the Gatecrashers do have a ranking board of greatest problems, and they do it via the medium of portraits. So, indeed, it is a very ceremonial thing as problems to the multiverse are taken down, moved along, and maybe in some cases moved from great problem to good ally on a different wall.
Dare
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
How very dare. As this has all been happening, it is worth pointing out that this is the point where, and for those of you who have watched Trust and Glass, will know that a multiversal, basically a multiversal serial killer, but self-serial killer of Jakar, known as Jack, has made the deal to take the mask that contains this great evil and slam it on his own face, at which point everything exploded and everybody died, supposedly, at which point Fall of Light Snow, reporting the Master Stand on the face, collapses. Not only is it severed, but it's one of the not great secrets that Fall of Light Snow's girlfriend, Gatecrasher, otherwise known as Dorothea and Medusa, was sent on this mission. And so there's just a rumble, and then your Gatecrasher, Syrah, is like, oh, our poor dear.
Perhaps you ought to offer her a biscuit.
I do find a biscuit is a good thing in this time. She starts walking over, and Keeper has sort of like is bumping their claws together and fought, and it's like, this is strange. This shouldn't happen. Fall of Light Snow is sobbing. Syrah, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception 15.
15. I mean, you brought a weapon in, but that's fine. That's your pendant. That Aarakocra who was glaring does seem to be reaching down and is pulling back their robes to reveal, which I think you've seen a pistol, which is yeah. Yes, you sort of pick up, and I mean, do you want to make an intelligence roll?
Not really. I'd love to make a charisma roll instead, but
Okay, if you want to make a charisma roll and be like, there, I'm sorry that your girlfriend just got murdered.
Well, no, it's the intelligence roll reacting to... I would be as soon as I saw the Aarakocra looking menacing and reaching for a weapon, then that is what I would be focused on.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Intelligence roll. Any particular stat, or just a flat intelligence?
It's up to you. It's sort of like...
Actually, honestly, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. I don't have I don't have proficiency in any of them. And that's a 3 on the dice.
It's a nice gun. Yeah.
Interesting choice of weapons to be bringing into the canteen.
Click, 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 click. One eye blink, one eye blink. So
I do like the idea that the Aarakocra was like, you're not going to deny an old man his stick, are you?
It does look like a pipe gun from Fallout. Where you're just like, why did you have that, old man?
This is my
a little bit further
weapon.
down.
Yeah, emotional support. And well, when I heard that we had beaten back broken glass, I would have gone yippity skippity and fired it into the air, as is among my people.
I like the idea that like 5 feet down, there's like a halfling with a bazooka.
I mean,
it's okay.
He doesn't have.
You wouldn't deny an old man his stick, would you?
Halfling Bazooka Joe is out there somewhere. Just like, yes. So this is where multiple things. You again, Syrah, you have that moment of being like, "Huh, nice gun." Gatecrasher puts her tin of biscuits down, so opens it up, and again, it sounds patronising. It's not, but tries to offer. Fall of Light Snow a biscuit, and it's sort of like hands on. It's like there. Fall of Light Snow flings her head back, screams "Tarask!" At which point a gun goes off and just clips your Gatecrasher in the shoulder. At which point everyone sort of looks at the Aarakocra and he's like, out of the corrupted Gatecrashers! Chaos. It is full-on rebellion. It seems that people split into two sides. People are going for Keeper, and they're going for Fall of Light Snow. And your Gatecrasher, who draws out a knitting needle, flings it, and it does hit poor Bazooka Joe in the chest, who's like, no! Fires the bazooka off. Boom! Syrah, what you doing?
Oh, going into full attack mode. The sparkly purpley galaxy eyes take on a dark red sheen, and she will just go full on like charge at the Aarakocra, thunderous smite.
Absolutely, roll that attack.
amazing. She's she can fly as well.
Of course
Like
she
it's
can.
technically winged boots, but
Yeah.
it's just like she got little rocket shoes, you know.
Pew pew.
Very slow rocket
Yeah.
shoes. Normal walking pace rocket shoes.
I mean, if someone was flying at me at walking speed, you're still like, oh dear.
That is a 26 to hit.
Okay. Please roll your damage and please roll your smite.
Okay, so okay, wow, I was not prepared to do this so immediately. Okay, so that's going to be okay. To
I hope
start
everyone
with,
gets to get into a fight in their first set.
yeah.
That's 1-on-1.
This is past fighting. You got to fight, Sean. Everyone's
saying,
probably everyone's going to get a
Lola
fight.
and Niall get their own fights.
I will get. I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to Lola's character, but I've got a feeling Niall's character might be down for a bit of a rumble.
Okay, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 basic damage, and then I'm going to go in with yeah, I'll go in with a oh god, I don't think I've got enough d6s for this. Shit. The Aarakocra isn't undead, are they?
No.
Gotta check that.
It's just a guy. A guy
Just
with
some
a
guy
gun.
with a gun. Okay, so it's going to be plus another 6d8 radiant damage. So, okay.
Oh, we're dropping dice.
So that's 6, 12, 19. That was really rubbish. 23. So 11 plus 11 slashing and then 23 radiant.
Yeah, you just. Are you using your banner as your?
Oh
You just-
yeah, and because it's because I am a polearm master, I can swing it around for a bonus action, and after stabbing with the glaive part, will like whip the butt of it around.
Yeah.
And I can go in for another attack on that. Oh, no, don't land on there. Oh, that wasn't that one though. I'm angry. I mean, it's-
Again, you jab this bird in the chest, who kind of like curves in. He's not a combative guy. He's got this pipe pistol. For those of you paying attention, this is the Aarakocra that Jakar threatened to eat. So maybe he's had a bit of a problem with yes. And then you bring your thing round again, but
it's technically a 13 if his AC is super low.
his sort of like again it's sort of 15. I think it's fair that you kind of just yes.
Stop that.
No, you stop it. Tries to shoot you. Does a 18 hit?
Just.
Uh,
Ow.
8 points of gun damage. Just bang. But then starts again. It starts to like trying to fiddle to reload. Attempts to disengage. Can't. Isn't a rogue. So I'll let you have your reaction if you want. As this coward of a bird tries to flee.
Yeah, I will absolutely go and hit him again. That's a 16 plus 12. That will hit.
Roll your hitting damage.
That's going to be 10. I don't think I can. Can I smite on a reaction?
I don't.
On an opportunity attack?
It's once per turn.
Yeah.
Then
So it's
it's not my turn. But it's part of the round.
I mean, hey, this is a flashback as you know, people later tell the story. Yeah, go on. You know, I'm gonna let you smite just because I like your beret.
Let the little robot do a smite. Okay. 16. What the hell? Okay, that's another 8. It's 24, 30. That's going to be 39 points of smite damage this time.
Okay, I think Aarakocra knows when their proverbial goose is cooked and just falls down. It's like, I surrender.
This is folly.
I'm sorry, I just don't trust what's happening here. Now
Why did you not use your mouth parts to ask a question rather than attack? I should clarify.
Yeah.
Syrah does not
Yeah.
have a mechanical mouth. She has a voice box that is in the throat.
Yeah.
So you can hear what she's saying, but she doesn't have an articulated mouth.
Does your face move at all?
No.
It's just this
The
face.
eyes change colour when
Yeah.
she's angry.
And she angry. The Aarakocra falls into burbling. Yes. Sometimes when it comes to revolution, you're like, yes, the one who started it, who kind of like kicked it off. It's unfortunate that this guy is the one that started what was known as the Gatecrasher Revolution. Syrah, this... He's still holding the pistol, but I think because he throws it away, you can hear combat all around. What do you want to do?
What is happening with Gatecrasher? My Gatecrasher.
Do you want to make a perception check?
Yes. Yeah. Would have the glaive aimed at the Aarakocra, but would probably, having seen him throw away the pistol, would literally just turn back to check
turn
it.
back. Yeah, you're looking back at the table.
Perception. Oh man. That's 9.
Not here. She's not here.
Gatecrasher.
Keeper's not here. Full life
Gatecrasher.
Not here.
Nanny.
As Syrah stands in the midst of roiling, dangerous combat, little eyes flicking back and forth, like little strobe. First time you've probably ever been alone. That you haven't been with your Gatecrasher.
Excuse me, to the Aarakocra. Excuse me, I must go and find Nanny.
You're not. Yes, if you're just gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna push him over with the butt of the glaive and then leave and go and try and find her.
What exactly happened to Gatecrasher, aka Nanny, is a mystery. All you know at the end, Sarah, when you finally do find it, is that there is in one of the side rooms, there is a tin of biscuits and a scorch mark. You're not quite sure what it is, and Keeper and Fall of Light Snow do their best to try and explain that maybe it was a portal that went wrong, or something. It possibly looks like someone tried to open the portal to the Hells and succeeded, but all you know is that your Gatecrasher is gone.
It would not have been her. She would not have left me. I will take the tin.
As you sadly stand there, we focus in on the burn mark on the floor. We hear the crackle, we hear the flames. Welcome to the Hells. It is probably one of the worst places you could ever be. And it is also particularly bad for this tiefling. She has sort of very red skin. Her two sort of curved horns, braided white hair, and she is running as fast as she can as she's just hearing whooping and cheering from a bunch of other devils who seem to be chasing her. She run, jump, this sound of like snarling as well, and we see as a large devilish gorilla sort of lands. Boomf. All right, Tig. You can't run any further. And she's like, hi, Braddock. He's like, yeah, you know me. She's like, yeah, no, I know you. And she holds up her hand. 3 of her claws have been snapped off. That she's Tignatara, 7 claws. And Braddock's like, I've heard from Lil earlier that you've been talking to our enemies. He's like, no, Braddock, no, I wouldn't dare talk. No. I mean, the boss managed to embarrass them a while back, but now you've been talking to her, haven't you? You've been whispering our secrets. No, Braddock, no, of course I wouldn't. Tig is sort of like looking around as if she's planned something, but it has gone terribly wrong. You're like, oh, okay. Oh wait, you haven't been talking to that little jumped up. While this is happening, should we just quickly pan up a cliff? Sort of sitting. Again, I don't know how concerned you're feeling about all of this, Niall, but whatever agreement you had with this devil, she certainly has brought one of your on your hit list, one of your enemies, this big ugly gorilla, to the point. Agreed. Now, who are we looking at? Who's taking in this scene?
Probably stood high up on the cliff is a full plate suit of armor, cloaked in a canvas hood covered in the sands of Avernus is heat, and the armor itself is made out of infernal iron, which glows with hellish fire itself. And human eyes look through the eye holes of the mask and look down and crackle a little bit as they cast Fireball, but they transmute it into lightning.
Beautiful. And
aim it at the retinue that are behind the tiefling.
Very good. Yeah. Roll for lightning ball.
Great. Right. It's 10d6. So it would do 33 points of lightning damage.
You fire off this lightning ball, and you get the delightful noise that probably keeps you going through these hard days and nights of listening to various small devils popping out of existence as you fry them. You also the gorilla turns around and is like, what? And sort of like, are you just standing there? You're not trying to hide?
No, there's also a staff of power which is crackling with the lightning. But I'll deconstruct it and put it into a pouch in the armor, and then slowly fly down.
Just
the boots sort of like suspending, like a mixture of magical sort of power emanating from the boots, slowly floating down.
Wait, how slow are your rocket boots? Are they walking speed rocket boots?
They are 60 feet.
Oh. You've got proper rocket boots.
Yeah.
Nanny was like, you don't need to go too fast, you understand? If you go too fast, you could get yourself hurt.
It's dangerous.
This character, on the other hand, is like, yeah, speed.
Danger is my middle name.
You're floating down. I'm imagining, again, not quite this character, but Magneto style, just like, I'm coming.
It's more like Iron Man, really, with the boots actually propelling from below.
Braddock, that intelligent gorilla devil, does the obvious you as if he has summoned you, or he has managed to trick you in some way. Tig scuttles back as far as she can, not wanting to be here. You.
I'll just come down with a thunder gauntlet in their faces.
Absolutely. So. Just bring it. Please roll your thunder gauntlet.
It is a plus 11 for a 23 to hit.
Roll your thunder.
Great stuff. That is 10 points of thunder damage as I knock his teeth out, please.
Yeah. You do get the slow motion watch of like a large serrated gorilla tooth just floating off. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 12.
You don't see this. Audience, I'll let you see as a small sort of like as the tooth lands, as a small like very little demon is like, yeah, bounty. It's taking off to, the use of a gorilla tooth might be useful in some spell. It's these small creatures which are like the Jawas of Avernus, where it's like everything's got a price. Braddock swings out at
Could
you.
I use my second attack to also punch again?
Okay.
I have 2 attacks.
Okay. Head cocked to one way, tooth. The little Jawa demon's like, what? Puts the tooth down, like, opens its hand, ready out to catch another one. Please do your second attack.
Ooh, that is a natural one. I feel like the Thunder Gauntlet doesn't work. I feel like I punch the stomach and it doesn't boom with the first sort of strike. And I look at the hand, I'm like, oh no.
Biscuits. As it does a dirty 20. Does that hit?
No.
Blooming Nora.
I'm holding the hand, I think as I see the fist coming, I'll just catch it with the same hand.
He does have a second claw attack as that one comes popping around for 13. As you're just like, nope. You're now just holding this very large gorilla like by both fists. It's like ah.
Right. Let's have a little look at the old spell list. I'm gonna look into their eyes and cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
They need to make me a intelligence saving throw, please.
I assume a 6 passes, obviously.
No, that is a fail. As I multiply around them, and her voice echoes through the creature's mind, saying, it'll be easier if you just give up. And all at once, they all just start slamming these thunder gauntlets into him. In reality, she's just stood there watching as this thing is like, ah!
yeah. Again, we see this like really like dark, like noir scene of boom, boom, and then we cut back to just this big gorilla going, oh, no, the one thing I didn't want to happen. And those surviving demons sort of like look at each other and like, kind of like take a couple of steps back, and because again, this has been a fun hunt. They've been hunting this tiefling. They didn't actually think they were going to find you, and if they did, obviously Braddock was going to break your neck. But yes, so does Braddock take any psychic damage? Is it
2 points of psychic damage?
No, the one thing I didn't want to happen.
We're watching the green screen footage, like the behind the scenes.
Yeah. So you're just seeing an actor in like a large gorilla, like with a big head thing, just like it is disappointing, and it does disappoint the other sort of demons who are like, I mean, the boss doesn't need to know that we did. They're gonna start sort of like backing away from you. They know your reputation. They've seen you. They're just like, okay, we're just gonna go. The little like Jawa one's like, it's like, no, we're not gonna give you any more teeth. He's like, oh. Yeah, you just. I assume this. He's just trapped in this for a bit. Is he?
Until he saves.
Yeah. I just think. Tig Seven Claws sort of looks up at you and is like, okay. Thank you. He's been on my back for a while. hold on. Reaches in, hands you what looks like a metallic disc, which just is glowing with sort of a fire. And so I think that's sort of scared of you, and sort of like just tries to sort of hand the coin to you.
Yeah, without breaking eye contact with this creature that's slowly being psychically torn apart, I'll just take the coin and put it into a pouch where you hear the rattle of more coins as it joins its friends.
Folks, I pointed out, I was like, oh well, if you're a good character, there's obviously a limit to the number of these coins, to which Niall said, who said I was good? Hey, let's see if we can have a redemption arc over the next 5 and a bit episode.
Doubt it.
I believe in you. Yes. You're able to just leave this gorilla who fought himself, was fought. Again, I'm thinking about that Lord of the Rings game where it's like, yeah, if you kill, this guy, you're going to be moving up the ranks. No, he still stays down. He's a grunt. Like, it's not even hard. I don't think we have actually had a proper introduction. What's your name, friend? As you walk away from this screaming gorilla.
I don't think she walks away from the screaming gorilla. I think she probably casts Cone of Cold on it to finish it off.
You do. Braddock falls with a scream, and then you just hear a sort of, ooh, nasty, from someone watching over there who doesn't really care. It's Avernus. You see things like that every day.
Coolest of beans.
Coolest.
Yeah, the Cone of Cold comes through the staff, which reconstructs into its like full form, and then once it's finished, it deconstructs back down into just a bar form. The full plate armor will turn to the figure and say, "You know me by my name. My name is Ruin. That is all you need to know of me."
The tiefling's like, yeah, thank you, Ruin. I probably shouldn't be found near this because it looked bad, but kind of was like, why am I still talking to you? Turns on her cloven feet and starts running off in the opposite direction.
I will search the corpse of the devil I've just killed for any infernal documents or anything that might pull me closer to the lead I'm looking for.
Sure. Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah. Investigation would be cracking, please.
Yeah.
I believe it's a +10. Yeah. That's a 23.
That's good. That's some good sleeping there.
Yay!
Oh no! I didn't say that you found documents. You certainly do find the Ica bomb that this guy had attached to him, which starts beeping very quickly.
I'll just launch it away.
I mean, make a sleight of hand throw.
Sleight of hand.
Nice. What's just to make sure that you don't.
My sleight of hand is 11 in total.
Yeah. you got 11. Sticky. Can you make me a Constitution saving roll, please?
Oh no. This isn't good.
No, it's not.
Constitution saving. 13.
As this thing just. I mean, you're wearing a mask, but somehow it still gets in your mouth. Can you roll me 2d4, please?
Oh gosh. That is a 7.
I mean, take 7 of your max HP. That's just. You are now poisoned. It turns out that these infernal beings have set up a lot of stuff. Also, someone decided to plant a bomb on this guy. This is Rune. This has probably been the sickest you felt in a good long while. You feel sort of like your eyes starting to sort of unfocus, and you're like, oh, fuck, okay, nasty. Things start sort of, time goes all a bit wobbly. It's really hot in your armor. You're gonna keep it on? It's really hot in this armor.
I'll probably find like a shadow in the like sort of crevice from where I flew down from. I've still got fly active, so I'll probably fly up a bit so that nobody can kind of on the ground level come get me. And I'll find a little platform, and then just with an action, I'll take the armor off, revealing just an iron mask, which covers her entire face, but she's wearing like a skin suit, black top, and then the cloak folds down, the armor as well folds down into a little just sort of backpack around her hips. More like a fanny pack, I guess.
Well, if we're going to have to be exact,
yeah.
you have a lovely...
And the cloak sort of drapes down her legs now, and you can see she's wearing boots and almost like cargo pants.
You gotta wear your cargo pants and tails. Yeah, you kind of like we're sort of seeing things from your point of view, where you're sort of like we're hearing the breathing behind your mask and things are sort of fading.
Can I cure wounds on myself?
You can try.
Yeah, I certainly will.
Try?
Mm.
I have an important question about the cargo pants just while you're rolling.
Right, yeah.
Are they camo cargo pants?
No, they can be seen.
No, my question was going to be, are they camouflaged to the hells? So are they all like red and brown?
So most of her outfit is black, apart from these like sort of dusty tan boots and cloak and pouches and gloves.
So that's not a fun answer. Okay.
Sorry.
Look, she's badass. Okay.
If Sarah wants to wear fun pants, we can make that happen. You know, there's been a time scale.
Her armor does actually also go down into these little bands that go across her biceps. So she has like two, you know, like Iron Man has the little rings around him. They go down onto her biceps as well.
Okay, you want to cast Cure Wounds? You cast Cure Wounds. It hasn't cured whatever this poison is, but you don't feel quite like you're dying so much, but you are still incredibly sluggish. And as I said, sort of like we're seeing this from your point of view, and sort of like constant vigilance. And one of the last things you see is just sort of like a pair of hands pulling themselves up, and a scruffy blonde-haired man in a long raincoat looking, but it's multicolourful. He wouldn't blend in if he was trying to be. So like things that also smoking looks and just goes, well now, you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Right, let's get you back to base. Coming with? It starts pulling something out, like some sort of artifact. Your head's sort of slumping down. Ruin, you're dying. This might be the end. You feel sort of the internal fury. This isn't your end. This can't be your end. All the things you want to do, and now there's this guy who seems to be trying to cast some sort of spell. What do you want to do?
I think, like, as her strength is leaving her, she's just sort of slumped against a rock, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm saving your life, Ruin. And it just, as you feel, you know, his hands aren't warm because this is a hot, horrible place, but there's a comfort as he sort of like, weirdly, I mean, he's able to sort of like lift you up and put you over his shoulder, and you hear like a chime, and you see a portal, and then
it's probably the first time she's been physically touched, not in combat.
very, very
in a long time. just like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in hell. You're not hugging anyone.
No. I mean, you could have tried to hug Seven Claws back there, but she would have probably passed out in terror. You're
or
very
try to
scary.
stab you in the back. You can never trust Adele.
Put it on a t-shirt. So as you are blacking out, we pan up to the fiery sky that is Avernus, and things sort of fade. There's more blue. There's stars. There's a moon, a waxing moon in the sky. We are in a black sand desert as far as the eyes can see, mostly because it's dark, but this is quite a calming place. And there is it's weird, there shouldn't be a furbolg in a desert. They're usually in the woods, but this large fuzzy creature is sitting there, has a beautiful rainbow-coloured umbrella. Folks, every time I say rainbow, we're like, we know what's happening. Just over his head as he's looking out, and he turns sort of off his large paw and says, "Oh, good night to you. Might I offer you a cup of tea?" The camera pans over to someone who probably does not look particularly impressed by all of this. Lola, will you reintroduce us to your character, please?
I don't drink tea.
Oh.
Irai says, with as they stand here somewhat confused. I don't think they had quite intended to come out here, but I guess as they start looking around to begin to make that radar-like ping of, oh, okay, I guess I just need to find another portal to continue on. You see them in their raiments, which are basically just a cowl wrapped around their shoulders, like lightly sitting, a sash over their chest, which just sort of partially covers some of the tattoo-like fissures that are kind of abstract, splashing out and around on their dark skin that lead down into the wrapped and layered skirts that they wear, that he wears on top of tighter leggings.
Oh, you don't drink tea? That's a terrible shame. I often find that having a nice cup of tea helps me put the universe back in order, to just take some time and to contemplate my actions rather than rushing into things. I have lemon, if you'd like some lemon in it.
I don't tend to rush into things. Everything I do is calculated and planned.
Nice big smile on this fuzzy creature. Of course. This really is a beautiful place. Well, it was before. It used to be a city here, but it seems that the sands have reclaimed it. Who knows how long ago? He sort of like looks up and he's like, I was doing my best to help the people, but it seems I was too late. Possibly by centuries. Maybe I've spent too much time, deep thought, contemplation. Maybe I need to change my ways, be less calculating like yourself. Maybe action is itself a good choice. Apologies. Just an old man, just taking in some regrets. Irai looks unimpressed.
This puzzling is there. It's not saying anything. It's looking at this Furbolg as if to say, right, what is your point?
Yeah.
Are you going to get there? Or do I just need to move on because I clearly have more things to do?
Absolutely. Kind of like then brings the sort of the umbrella down, which goes weird because it's night. Why are you so scared of the moon, old fellow? Apologies.
Werewolf.
Rah! again, this is the thing where, like, actually, I think the Firbolg is just going to be like, so what exactly brings you here to this ruin of a place?
I believe that I may have been turned around somewhat. This is not where I intended to be, but is a stepping stone, I believe, to the next place.
Well, isn't that always the way? Sometimes we don't end up in the places we're meant to be, but the places we should be. It's as written in the stars, some would say. I see I'm not impressing you, friend. Apologies. My name is Gatecrasher. I also was hoping to find something here, but it seems as I said, I have miscalculated. But I've now found you. If you don't mind me being so bold, you ring with the sounds of the cosmos. It seems that you too travel the planes.
Yes, that is my mission and my purpose.
And what do you hope to find on your travels, friend?
It's less hope, but more direction. I have been charged with ridding the planes of the dreaming dark before they force all of them to descend into chaos.
Eri. We've heard of you. You've done some good, friend. It seems you've helped some places, but I'd like to make an offer to you, friend. I realised I've been Gatecrasher. I know your name. You didn't know mine. Of course, it's not a name; it's a title. We forsake names and loyalties once we join our cause. You probably haven't heard of us. We try and keep it quiet, like gestures to a rainbow umbrella. Although we do have a habit of showing off a bit. But maybe it isn't just chance that we've met. The Dreaming Dark is a concern to all of those who travel, and might we offer you assistance if you would be kind enough to take it?
I have worked alone for many years. What could you offer?
Knowledge, security. If you are willing to share your information, we're willing to share ours, and it is in our interest to protect and to, I was about to say serve, but that's not what you do, to protect as many of the planes as we can, not only from the Dreaming Dark, but all that would hope to plunge the planets and the planes and the minds into darkness.
Is there any greater evil than the Dreaming Dark?
I'm afraid so. At least come see what we have to offer, and then there's no promises. You're perfectly capable of traveling the planes by yourself. At least come and take a cup of tea now and again.
Hold. They will pause a moment, close their eyes, and kind of send out that radar-like ping that travels from them, but I don't believe anyone else can see it.
No.
It's more something that Z visualizes in their head, and it appears to be empty. There isn't anything calling to them or a direction at this direct point in time.
No.
So she opens their eyes and looks back at the Firbolg. Perhaps I have some time.
And sometimes time is all that we have. Very well. Again, I can't convince you to try this. It's tea from a world that got consumed by. You'll have time to experience tea. We'll get things going. I do believe that there are some others who might be waiting for us. So, if nothing else to.
I have worked with others in the past. I can't say that I rated it very well, but
Folks, we flash through the previous adventure, including an elk kicking a door to pieces. You're like, yeah, no, I can imagine things. Yes. Hopefully, the people you will now be working with will be more your speed, but we can but see, eh? Folks, I'm so tempted just to throw a scorpion at here right now, just be like, combat!
You mean I'm the only one that hasn't done an initial combat?
Let's punch something.
I'm so good at the punching.
Okay, here we go. No. Gatecrasher begins sort of like pulls out the key, and it begins spinning in his large palm. It's like, hold on. Looks over as he's like, okay. As something like a metallic scorpion leaps up from the sand, goes through him. He's like, whoop. And then another one pops out. He's like, hate to be bold, do you mind just keeping the... Turns out that this previous civilization didn't quite turn everything off when the sands took them. Do you mind just dealing with that while I try and get the... Oh, no, drop the key. Hold on. I'll get my umbrella. These two metallic scorpions with their little stingers look at you. And they start scuttling towards you.
Okay.
Wait, does the stingers look?
Yeah, the stingers have little eyes on. Okay. Little laser eyes.
That's not weird at all.
We're perfectly normal.
They scream.
Yeah. Don't judge us.
We're perfectly normal. Zill will assess the situation, begin to reach for the staff on the back, and just actually flex their hands and jump, basically settle into a stance, ready to attack. Is going to...
They do that stance that lets everyone know that a badass action sequence is about to begin. As the camera pans in and they...
We always hear the like a Final Fantasy style game. Just like well, Gatecrashers like, I will use my magic. So that's just happening in the background. Yeah. Look, the budget's very low on this. Yeah, right.
Okay. Is going to attack. Well, how far away are they at the moment?
5 feet. They've literally just burrowed out of the sand. They're just,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want some more distance?
Just a tad. Just a tad. But then
I mean, one's 5 feet and one's 10 feet back, one's 15 feet away.
Wonderful. So what happens is, as they settle into that stance, their hand comes around and almost as if gently throwing something, a ball of sun kind of whirls up into their hand, and I can't believe I rolled that on thing, and it hates me. It hates me. I hate it.
What did you get?
I rolled a 14.
14 to hit. I'm
Yes.
afraid it doesn't hit these scorpions.
Yeah, this radiant sunbolt just kind of whirls out of their hand and goes wide.
this sunbolt lights up this dark desert, and you just hear, the sun's back! It has returned! Gatecrashers sort of like looks at you, it's like, it was worth a shot, I suppose.
Disappointed. So it shakes out their hands and then just goes to punch the one that is closest.
Yeah.
And is not rolling on the thing that hits me.
Bing bong.
Okay, so that is a 21 to hit.
Ouch! Yep, roll your damage.
Mm-hmm. The problem is I have to identify the dice. Got to identify them. Right. Okay. That is a 7 plus 4, so 11. And I'm going to designate this one as my favorite foe.
Oh, very rude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the favorite. Like, if surely it's a compliment.
A compliment for me.
Oh, currently.
Mr.
You're just the
Scabby.
favorite because you're not dead yet.
I'll take it. Mr. Scabby the Scorpion, everyone's favorite. Bing bong.
So 13 damage.
I was punched! This thing sparks and...
Oh, you know what? You know what I should have done?
What should you have done?
I forgot. You know how we leveled up? I'm gonna just can I spend a couple of my key points on the other one, or is it worth it?
I mean, I'm gonna stab you with my stinger. I mean, Senior Stingy, not the favourite. Yeah, go on, beat him up. This is a very serious game, people. There's a lot of tragedy in it.
Senior Stingy.
Senior Stingy.
Okay, so if I spend 2 key points on the previous 14, which makes it a 18 to hit, would that have hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so that Radiant Sunbolt that kind of went wide, almost glows and wraps itself back round and hits the scorpion from behind.
Yay, the sun came back for me!
Of course.
We flash back to this ancient civilization. Is it alright that we gave so much personality to our basically weapons? Oh, Thaddeus. Nothing bad would ever possibly happen. Oh, look at that sand! Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, so that's 10 damage from the thing, and I will spend a final key point just to make 2 more unarmed strikes on the one in front of me.
Please do.
Okay.
We love monks.
We love monks.
So that's another 21 to hit, and what? Why did it land in this perfect little groove in my laptop? That means that it's got. I wish I could show you all, but it's impossible. So
I can feel your pain, though. Like, I can actually feel.
I mean, to quote a different role-playing group, respect the cock. I don't know what you want.
What?
What sort of roleplay, Tom?
Look, the things I watch.
Farmer roleplay.
In my downtime.
For people who also watch Dimension 20, that's going to suddenly age this stream.
I don't think it will. And if I watch late night role playing on one of those weird channels when after dark, it's not my fault. Anyway, Lola, please take us back to sanity.
So that second attack was a 24.
Yep.
Yep. So I will roll damage for both. Sigh. I don't actually like math. I'm not very good at it. So rolling it. No, it's fine.
Call out the numbers. We'll do the maths.
Sorry?
Call out the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's fine. I can do math. Sort of. It's a 16.
You just don't like it.
We just don't like it. 16 damage.
Yes.
So, Senior Stingy literally is like, praise the sun! As you hear underneath your feet, praise the sun, praise the sun! The sun's come back! Hooray! Gatecrasher, still like the portal opening. It's like, are you done, or are you wanting to fight an entire army of stingies?
Murder them
No,
all.
Show them their god.
I believe that me staying to fight them would be a waste of time. Surely we should move on.
Unless you've got anything in particular you need to work out.
Cup of tea, perhaps?
We haven't tried giving tea to the scorpions yet.
I think I believe we should just move on.
By all means. Gatecrashers sort of opens the key. How do you make portals, Eri?
I can't make portals yet.
Oh. Oh, can't you?
Not quite.
Is it that you can detect portals?
I
but you
can
can't...
detect portals. I'm just not a high enough level ranger
Oh.
to make them.
Oh. Maybe sitting on a desert and drinking tea isn't so silly now. Maybe people should be more impressed by Gatecrashers, even though they keep getting murdered. Anyway, wow. Anger, Tom. Why are you so angry? I don't know. I just love my babies. Anyway, so,
You want us some tea?
you just see, like, hit points rise out of my head. I'm like, delightful. Yes. Eri, you see this key spinning, and there's a chime, and a portal opens. The key floating there. The key's the thing that's holding the portal open. There is a. Are you just going to move? You're just going to go for the portal, possibly taking an attack of opportunity from this one scorpion as you're watching the sand bubble under your feet.
Sure. I don't mind taking an attack of opportunity.
Does a bloody hell? Does 23 hit?
It does, yes.
Please take 8 points of lightning damage as a little laser just pew, out of the scorpion. That's right, we don't just sting, sometimes we shoot. Wait, come back. We need.
Wait, was
the
it
sun.
ranged? Can I catch it? No, I'm joking.
I mean, it was. Do you want to try and catch lightning in your hand?
They deal with the power of the sun.
Yeah.
Go on.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Okay, if you would actually let me do something quite ridiculous.
Oh no, I'm a very serious DM.
Absolutely.
I've heard it said about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 9 on the dice plus 13, so I reduced the damage by 22.
How much? By 22.
Yes.
Eri, you're just holding like a ball of lightning in the palm of your hand now.
Yeah.
Scorpion's like, maybe I was the Sunbringer. Turns around, behold, it was I who brought the sun back. The other scorpions are like, hooray, hooray, we desire your flesh. And the scorpion's like, wait, what? You watch as the scorpions begin consuming each other.
As Irarai begins to step towards Gatecrasher in the portal, Z will just throw it back.
Please make a ranged attack. Are you throwing it at the scorpions, or are you just throwing it onto the sand?
Just throwing it.
Yeah.
It's like, we caught it.
Some things are too beautiful to live.
It's true.
Well, I mean, they're all consuming each other. So
They don't have flesh. You said they were metallic.
yeah.
It's Oh,
they're
Thaddeus
just
was up to
recycling each
some
other.
Stuff down there. I, Thaddeus Robotnik, making my little dudes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, how do I do a ranged attack? I've forgotten how to do this. I think it's 19.
19. Irarai turns their back on the lightning, which as you just hear the sun. as these mechanical monstrosities in a mixture. But actually, what's your passive perception? I just keep like asking people because I'm like, hey, weird things happening in the background.
19.
Yeah, you kind of like, as you're sort of like looking, you're watching as the scorpions are like reassembling each other. You know, they're taking bits from one, putting it together, pocking it back in, and they seem to be regenerating in that way. But it isn't. Oh, you're just rebuilding from each other, and then like, you will now be Senior Stinger 87. It's like, understood. Yeah, this is a bad place, and you shouldn't have come here. You've made things worse, Lightbringer. They were fine. Why am I yelling? It's Gatecrashers' fault. Anyway, Gatecrashers is just like, okay, I'm going to make a note in the files. We don't come back here. It is a silly, horrible place. Turns and walks in. Irai, you following? Or do you want to stay with these scorpions?
Irai is following.
You love to hear it. You have walked into what is a well-furnished room. Sort of, again, with your high perception, you're looking around. There are large plush armchairs. There is a fireplace which is burning with like a purplish fire. You sort of like, as you look up, there is a portrait above the fire of this Gatecrasher, who there's just a sort of standing there, like holding the umbrella. The space next to them is empty. It doesn't look like that got painted in. That whoever should have been there just hasn't been included. There is also a whole lot of teapots just around the wall. Gatecrasher is like, welcome. I would offer you tea, but you've made it established. Is there anything you would care for when it comes to food or drink? We have an excellent series of chefs here who might be able to accommodate for you.
I tend to prefer mostly very standard fare, nothing too rich.
I mean, we can do standard.
I once tried chorizo popcorn.
Oh.
I did not.
You went to Waterdeep. Yes, no, they do have a acquired taste there, but no, I can promise neither popcorn or chorizo. If you just, we actually had someone here not that long ago who just was living mostly on Britain.
It was chorizo ice cream, not popcorn.
I mean, we could.
The chorizo popcorn actually sounds pretty good.
You say that, and then Gatecrasher's like, I'm sorry, what? They iced chorizo? My goodness. My. That does sound like Waterdeep still, but no, but yes, we'll be able to provide you with bread, water. Yes, just good simple food. Follow me. It's actually very sort of convenient timing as we do come across this. We're back again in this canteen. As Gatecrasher is here, as is Gatecrasher, and Gatecrasher, and Gatecrasher. Oh, sorry, you probably want more. Okay, so we've got the Furbog Gatecrasher. We have Gatecrasher, the rock and roll star, who has now brought her bassist and friend back to check in on things. We have we have a blonde humanoid Gatecrasher who has managed to put a dressing gown around a very bemasked being who basically Ruin, you've been given chicken soup that you like a lesser restoration has been cast on you to cure you of your poison, but now you'll be given chicken soup also because it seems like you haven't had a good meal in forever.
Yeah, she won't be eating it.
It's just there. Do you the blonde Gatecrasher is just like going, hey, if you know, actually I think as people are entering. It's like, hey, if you don't want it, and just starts.
She puts her hand on his hand just
Yeah.
before he does that. He says, I didn't say that.
Hey, you're the boss. And over at another table is a large insectoid creature, multiple hands, who is just sort of like looking at this small metallic child, and he's like, "So, I know I'm not your original Gatecrasher, but I do hope struggles with the mandibles, Sarah, that I might be able to be of assistance to you."
I will do what I can to assist you. However, I am not sure that I deserve the full title of my name anymore. I have failed at security.
I think you do excellent security, Sarah, and that we can. I do know something about changing names if you do feel you need to go get yourself renamed.
We shall see.
The Gatecrasher sort of like looks away. It's like, oh boy. It's again slightly awkward. Yes. So we have now finally, after about 90 minutes, finally managed to gather our entire cast here in the dining room. Who knows what adventures are coming? All I can tell you, folks, is we're going to now take a short break of about 10 minutes, so you too can go join your iced biscuits, your tea, your chicken soup,
Chorizo ice cream?
and chorizo ice cream. If anyone is enjoying chorizo ice cream, please do let us know in the chat. Yes, so come back for in 10 minutes, and we'll see what these likely heroes get up to. Have a good one. And welcome back, friends and foes. Welcome back to part 2. Look, I have to acknowledge my foes, because they're out there, and they wish to see the detriment that is little Tommy J, but I beat you. I'll beat you. Anyway, why are you watching my stream? Go plan my downfall somewhere else. Anyway, so, episode...
How many enemies do you have?
A lot less than I used to.
What of them are the goats that keep getting sent to him?
I can't help. I'm like that Greek island that has like 100 population and 30,000 goats. And they literally say, if you go there and say, oh, lovely goat, the inhabitants are like, yeah, have one. Just take one. We can't get rid of them.
Rid of us goats.
It's not my fault. I just send my goats there. Anyway, so this is Teeth and Lies. In part 1, we got a long introduction to our various characters. We have the rock and roll icon that is Bernard Hart returning back to Gatecrasher HQ because their co-musician, Gatecrasher, folks, if you don't like the word Gatecrasher, buckle in, you're going to be hearing a lot, has decided to take a bit of a break. Sometimes it's nice to be off the road. We had Sarah, who was there for the Gatecrasher Anarchy, the revolution, which was resolved, but it resolved in Nanny / Gatecrasher mysteriously disappearing. It appeared to be dragged to the Hells, maybe. Thinking of the Hells, Ruin, who was basically being the ruin of the terrible fiends that were down there, managed to... for the podcast listeners, Niall has just gone to a wonderful party at West Egg. Niall, so many shirts. Anyway, so the Ruin was mysteriously, well, not even that mysteriously poisoned by a giant gorilla demon and was rescued by Gatecrasher. Gatecrasher who's now trying to steal her soup. Naughty, naughty. And finally, Irai the Lightbringer, brought the sun to an abandoned plain full of dust and darkness and mechanical scorpions which spoke with annoying voices. But Irai was informed that while the Gatecrashers were concerned about the dreaming dark, there were other more terrifying beings out there in the universe. So, our heroes, ? Have all been brought back to Gatecrasher HQ, and at the beginning of the second half, or the second television episode, where we get to pan along and go, wait, those are the guys from the credits. Yes, they're here. Let's have a think. Let's just quickly go to Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard, you've been back here for maybe a couple of days. What do you think you've been up to, and what are you eating?
I think the first day he was trying to kind of make an impression. Like, he knows how the Gatecrashers do. You know, there'll be a mission somewhere. So if there's a mission, there's a team. So he's been waiting patiently for to be introduced to a team, and it hasn't happened yet. He's kicked in a lot of doors and set off pyrotechnics in the attempt to make a good first impression, and unfortunately seems to be accidentally in the canteen with them now. So yeah, I think it's just been kind of waiting around. Like every day has been a slightly bit more. All right, so we are actually just going to stay here now. All right. I'll have the penny.
I mean, if you're given a nice plate of penny pasta, it's good. It's very good. It's, some would say, out of this world, but I think I can safely say that you're feeling the twitch. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, but it's nice to be off the road for a bit, but the number of doors you've now kicked open, being like pew pew pew, you are certainly noted as a person of interest, even more so than before.
I'm trying to work my way up the list. I sat personally for the portrait as well.
Yes. Again, I'm going to take you guys to go see the portraits after this, so you get to describe what you're going to look like. Everyone think about what you're going to be in your personal portrait. Still going down the list, Syrah, 6 months ago, Gatecrash disappeared. You have now kind of been passed around a bit between. Yes, it has been acknowledged that you are just very, very sad, and you have failed in what you consider to be your mission. But this is your third Gatecrasher in the last 6 months. None of the other two have died, but you seem to have been passed on. It's difficult.
They were as inadequate as I was.
Everyone put tear emotes in chat. Just like, hun. Yes. Very similar. How? I was about to say, how do you feel about that? Not good. But you know, do you like adventuring, or was it more that when you were with Nanny that felt?
I think it was the again, like and enjoyment are slightly strange terms to use. Like, Nanny gave Syrah purpose, and Syrah would gain satisfaction from fulfilling that purpose, and the other Gatecrashers would also give them purpose, but it never felt right, I think, because they did not operate in the same way that Nanny did, and therefore the instructions were just a little wrong. So Syrah felt like they couldn't complete them correctly. So I think it's just been a slight clash of personalities. Maybe they didn't quite have the correct decorum. They didn't know the social rules that Syrah has been programmed with. So it never quite worked out, and they didn't quite understand when she was correcting them on the proper form that she wasn't being an asshole about it. It's just that they were wrong, and they didn't understand that, so things didn't work out.
And before, again, you're not eating, and I'm afraid to say your biscuit pocket has become very, very empty over the last half a year.
Biscuits, the biscuit that Syrah took, the last biscuit that Syrah took from Nanny, has been replaced into the tin, and the tin goes with Syrah everywhere. Like, is attached to her belt.
just this biscuit tin, this
They
sewing
may
kit.
well be crumbs by now inside, but
That's not the point, because she will want her biscuit tin, and she'll want her biscuits back when you find her, which of course you're going to. This free Kreen Gatecrasher probably isn't going to be the one who's going to help you find her, but you know, we do. The bot abides. We keep working. Yes. So with that, as we're like panning down and down and down the table, Ruin. You've been back for, again, a couple of days. That you were healed up. Someone then, this guy put you in a dressing gown. Put a dressing gown on you and is taking you out. There is now chicken soup and crackers and a glass of orange juice just sitting there. He's tried to eat your soup. You have told him very strongly, no. How are you feeling?
I think from, the face itself, because it is just an iron mask that goes over a face, shows no emotion, but her eyes look around this whole room, just scanning everything, looking at everything, taking everything in, and she's just quiet. She is just a bit... It's a lot of orientating. And I gather she's had the download about why she's here.
Yeah. I think you've had various sort of Gatecrashers try and do it at different levels, and then the Gatecrasher who got you out basically explained that you were dying, and it was decided that you would be more useful not being dead, that they have severed the timeline just to get you out. And so have you revealed anything more about yourself and about why you've been, yourself out there in the plains of Avernus?
Do they not know?
That's a different question.
Because that's what she'd ask. She'd ask them if they know about her. If they know enough about her, she just wouldn't assume that she wouldn't assume that they wouldn't know. Otherwise, why would they come find her?
I think for being that, yes, they've said that they monitor, and they are aware of. I think, again, this Gatecrasher got you out said, we are aware what happened to your mother. And we would like to be able to help you remedy that, if you're interested.
How are you meant to do that?
I personally don't know, but I don't think there's any shame in admitting there are people who are more educated and more trained than me, more understanding of a devil or a demon or the infernal. Also, will give you a chance to possibly get some revenge on those who have wronged you. I mean, I wouldn't say revenge is our main concern, but I think it's something that is of interest to you. Am I right?
You'd be right.
Good. I think you might enjoy some of the stuff we're doing. You know, sometimes it's diplomacy and sometimes it's kicking people into deep, dark crevasses. Also, we have all sorts of exciting technology, if you're interested.
Can I make an insight check just to see whether or not they have any intention of actually doing the things that they say?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. That is a 14.
You get the feeling from this. This obviously isn't the general of whatever army this is, you know, but he seems that he's telling the truth and he wants to help you. You also get the feeling that he kind of I'm trying to say, like, he likes your vibe, you know, sort of the more, you're very proactive, and he seems to like that as like when he said, "Oh, you know, sometimes it's diplomacy," there was a bit of a stink on that. He likes a being who's willing to take fortune and chance into their own hand and try and better themselves. So yes, it seems that he's speaking honestly. He wants to help you, and he wants to help remedy your issue. Interestingly, do you think you start asking? Because my point being, because obviously with the Gatecrashers, there's a whole like multiversal aspect to it. Are you at all interested in any of your other strands? Is that something you want to ask about?
I think she'd ask questions. She'd just try to ask the general questions that I think are kind of like general lore that we all know.
Yeah.
That she wouldn't know, just to specify. But I think she'd be familiar with the idea of multi-dimensions, because hell does reach into many different dimensions.
Again, it's not a big shock to be told, yeah, there are versions of you where this hasn't happened, that there's, you know, sort of like... Again, the Gatecrasher who's talking to you is holding you in respect. It's not treating you like a child and being like, oh, you had a... It's like, yeah, you're clearly combat trained and survived for a long time in the hells. You're given the due respect and you're not being coddled for it. But they do, again, it's respect. It's respect, and also, hey, let's try and... If you're going to have to break some eggs, you might as well have some fun doing it.
She would ask if she gets her own room.
Yes, you do. If you want your own room, that could be, of course, rearranged.
And are they private?
It kind of sort of leans... Well, there are locks, but there are always keys that unlock those locks. Do you want something particularly private?
I value my privacy. I would like to know that people can't just walk into my room unannounced.
Oh, that they can't. But yes, no, people won't be disturbing you if you don't want to be disturbed.
Oh, this is acceptable.
Good to hear it. Let's get you to the canteen. Maybe you can get some soup or something. We cut to... If you're not going to... Yeah, as you're just like slapping the hand away. Are you eating in private? Is that what you do? Do you take it? Yeah. I think you're doing that. Gatecrasher has now... It's going to leave you to take your things. And
what? Are we with other people at the moment?
You're in a canteen. You're in... Yeah, there's people around. Actually, it's just all look. There's a fire genasi with a red-headed elf. There's a tiny little autonome child with a insect creature, and also just sitting down at the end is a furbolg and a dark-skinned person who seems to have some large staff, tattoos. Yeah. Any? Okay. Yeah. As we do it, you're right. You have literally just arrived, and the furbolg has brought you in and says, well, you know, if there's anything that you desire, simply write it down on the table and it will be brought to you.
I think Irai will... Is there a pen or something, or are you just supposed to write it with your fingers?
Write it with your finger.
Irai will just write water. It's not very interesting or exciting.
You sort of take it, and then sort of an unseen servant comes and puts down, basically, like when you go to a restaurant and you're like, that's more of a vase than an actual water jug, and then there's a small cup, so you've just got a thing of water.
We'll ignore the water and continue to look around, just taking everything in this space.
Gatecrasher should have clarified that technique only works with food matters to be consumed by biological organisms. It will not work with any other biological matter. You cannot bring people back by writing names on the table.
There's the small autonomous child having leant around the person in the dressing gown. Yeah.
I will look at you, Sarah, and say, is that something that you have tried yourself?
The experiment warranted running.
Sorry for your loss.
You are very kind. Thank you. Welcome.
That is not something that is said often about myself.
Are you not usually courteous in this way?
It has taken time.
Don, can I jump in with a very quick question?
Yes, you may.
Bernard's been here for a couple of days, and they are always using unseen servants to deliver the food. Bernard has seen invisibility and will definitely have been bored enough to have cast it. So what do your unseen servants look like?
Have you seen biblical accurate angels?
Yeah, it just wheels like, hello! They... they look like penguins.
Just invisible penguins.
Just invisible penguins carrying little trays in their flippers, like waddling along, which... when you don't see the invisibility, you're like, oh, that's wobbling, that's it. They don't seem to have dropped anything yet, but, you know, the food is like... especially if you order soup, you'd just be like, soup, slow. Like,
Knowing that they're penguins, Bernard will have cast it every single time he's here in that case.
It is quite amusing that, again, they are unseen and don't speak, but they are obviously sort of like quacking at each other and then waddling along.
I wish I had here invisibility.
Your Gatecrasher looks at you. It's like, because you want to,
quack?
you want, so like you want to hear the servers quack.
Of course.
I like the deer that they're like pingus. They're like,
Not. That is.
Every so often, Bernard's just like.
You see one of the servers like stop, looks at you, and then along, just like newts back at you, and then you're just like, Gatecrasher's like, are you befriending the servers?
That's a little bit elitist.
How so? I mean, they again, I don't know. Sort of looks vaguely and it's like, do they have names? And the penguin's like, then sort of like puts a bread roll on the table and then newts back. Yeah, no, I suppose it is a bit elitist. Maybe I need to have a word with Keeper about. You kind of see her sort of like going, she is honestly never considered. Again, maybe a lack of like concern and knowledge, being like, I haven't thought about who serves us. Wow, Gatecrashers, you get worse with every passing fact.
it's the house elf conundrum all over again.
Oh, they're happy that they're slaves, are they, Joe? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bernard has definitely taken to like noting down the differences and is trying to figure out their names by the sequence of mouth movements, but can't read beak.
Newt.
But this is Newt. Hey,
Not in the inflection.
Umlaut.
To Newt or not to Newt. This is the inflection.
Or not Newt.
So when Sean said, hey, I've got a quick question, we've taken a lovely 5-minute diversion to learn more about... Hey, this is
important lore.
Yeah, this is all good stuff for the wiki. And also good for us to learn. You know, hey, if anyone else wants to play in the Gatecrasher universe, invisible penguins.
Newt.
Always observe your unseen servants.
Put on a t-shirt. Newt.
You learn something that you probably didn't want to know. Or maybe you did.
This is the crying space whales all over again, isn't it?
It is. Oh, they miss God. Yes. So, yes. So we had we had that conversation. Bernard had that conversation with Gatecrasher. Irai and Syrah have sort of acknowledged each other. Syrah. Ruin is waiting to head back. When a hell surprise, a Gatecrasher does walk in, is a half elven gentleman, silvery hair pulled back in a ponytail. I mean, sort of. There's a slight sort of, actually not unfamiliar to Bernard, a slight sort of fieriness to the eyes of this half elf, who sort of walks over. Is wearing a very nicely tailored rainbow suit, tie. Lovely shiny shoes, very important. And so walked over and was like, good, greetings. Let me start. Gatecrasher. Just sort of like, all the Gatecrashers are like, Gatecrasher. Yes, if it's all right, the 4 of you, well, 8 of you, all being summoned. There is a mission on the table. Gestures to Bernard. I know you in particular are excited to get back on the road and get things going.
Well, the team's all here.
Well, gestures. These 3.
1 second. Runs out the door.
Oh.
Waits a second. Kicks it in. Pyrotechnics.
Make a performance check with advantage.
Absolutely. Ah, what?
What did you get?
I rolled a natural 1 and a 2.
Incredible.
I think that was deserved.
You.
I'm 17.
And that one isn't that one, but
But you said with advantage.
I did say an advantage. Okay, you make a a 17 sparks. Amazing.
It's as worse as I can go without completely fluffing it up.
You other 3. How impressed do you think you are by this pyrotechnic show?
I tried to hide it, but inside I am.
It's pretty cool.
Like it's been a long time since Ruin has seen anything that's remotely like people.
Yeah.
Like you spend a lot of time in hell. Most of it's awful, and she's starting to realize that all these people that are around her are just almost regular people again.
Yeah.
Rather than people who are trying to win your confidence.
I mean, the closest thing you had to a friend back there was Tig Sevenclaws, and she's incredibly scared. Yeah, wasn't a good
And she also paid me.
Yeah, no, she literally paid you to be a bodyguard.
With a soul coin.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask where Tig got that. Yes. Syrah and Irai, how do you feel about pyrotechnics?
Interesting.
Correct, Irai. The water is okay. Syrah?
That display was visually pleasing, but I do not understand the purpose of it.
I think Ruin will lean down and say, "That was dramatic flair, darling."
Aye, the flare's the most important bit. Kind of blowing his thumb and his mohawk just.
Syrah, you're looking back up into this again, blank face with a mask.
I believe it tells us more about the character of this. Sorry, your name?
Oh, I'm Bernard. Bernard Hart.
Right.
Now, you might have also known me as Heartburn. That's my stage name.
I've heard of Bernard.
Make a history check.
Did I make the board?
18.
You've heard of Heartburn. Heartburn was part of a adventuring party who was involved in the early stages of the war against Broken Glass, or
Oh, what absolute payoff. That's such great payoff.
I think I look forward to looking how proud I was of that. Just hate to break my own thing, but yes, Bernard, along with a group of Gatecrashers, including one of the last protectors of the now fallen order of keysmiths, those who make the keys, confronted Broken Glass and a group who were known as Broken Keys, who were a group of assistants for Gatecrashers who turned against them. You actually were offered membership, which was strange, because why would you want to turn against your Gatecrasher? She's the best. It's also worth noting that those surviving members, one was offered a position and probably might have been involved in a bit of betrayal, was Full of Light Snow, the Oracle, and also her girlfriend, who was known as Dorothea, the Medusa, who was sent on the final Broken Glass mission and was supposedly died, but then came back again along with those heroes after going to a theme park. It was a strange time. And yes,
Oh, that's standard fare for the Gatecrashers, though.
yes, they do seem to keep doing. It's like at school when you're doing end of term activities, and it's like, let's go either to the aquarium or the theme park. I think Syrah, for that as well. Yes, but also Bernard or Heartburn has been absent for, I think, technically about a year now. Along with, and as you sort of look over, that's a Gatecrasher who was involved, although that's not Bernard's original Gatecrasher. Mm-hmm. Bernard's original Gatecrasher, who went by Gatey, was a Warforged who seemed to have been corrupted and also seemed to have been at the fight that killed Broken Glass, and is also missing in action, which will be displayed by a portrait, which we will be getting to in the not too distant
Any day
future.
now.
Any day now. Check the clock. 10 more minutes.
So, and more importantly, Gatey played the drums.
More importantly, Gatey played the drums, which and was never known to go drums, as this. It is acknowledged that the current drummer doesn't even come close to,
I think taking all that in and the comments from Ruin as well, Syrah will take a fraction of a second to comprehend this this other person who has a static metal face and does not eat, but then sees the human eyes behind, and there is no visible change in their countenance, but there is perhaps there was a curiosity, and there is now a bit more of a dismissal. I guess.
That's fair.
And then we'll turn to Bernard. I comprehend your intentions. You have been slacking in your duties as an assistant for the past year, and you have now decided to try and mollify people here by pleasing them with pretty colours. Has it worked? To my Thro-Kreen Gatecrasher.
I liked the colours and the flashing. That was very impressive. Well done, Master Heartburn.
Congratulations.
You have satisfied the simple-minded. Also, the Gatecrasher who is with Bernard kind of gives you a look of like, but then a kind of like, I think this attitude that you have always had, and she has worked with you in the past, and they've been like, for the whole kind of like, there is a right way of doing things, and that is not, her, just kind of gives you a look of like, it is the dismissive look of an elven woman looking at a child and being like, oh yeah, precocious child. I haven't been slacking, I've been on tour. the half-elven gatecrasher sort of like looks around and is like, well,
My apologies, I have affronted you. If it would make you feel better, we'll just prestidigitate some sort of sparkles in the air as well.
So
Rock and roll.
patronizing.
I'll also prestidigitate some sparkles.
you watch as Ruin and Era, you watch as a combination of sparkles come, and you see an orcish gatecrasher like, do you mind not in front of the soup? Bernard, you see the server picking up like the remains of people's food and look at you and literally goes waddles off.
Is this a constant occurrence?
It was a constant occurrence, aye.
Hmm.
It's very silly.
That was a very good pun.
But no booze. Because
I enjoyed it.
I also, thank you now, I also enjoy the puns. I know others bring out boo cards, but I'm like, game recognized game.
Fine.
No, Lola, no! Lola! A betrayal this early! Shame on us all.
To be fair,
Yeah.
that's just what Irai is thinking.
Just a mental boo card.
It's like, this is going to be
Can I-
interesting. The last party that I was with, also not very good at being stealthy. This
No.
one literally wants to announce themselves.
Can I
Yes.
get this food to take away?
Yes, no, of course. The gatecrasher sort of writes with his finger and then sort of points to you. Again, Bernard, you see what is basically fantasy Tupperware being brought out and then put down. The unseen servant starts ladling the soup into, puts a little thing wraps the crackers up in the little napkin, puts it on top, looks, goes up, puts a little like drinky straw in the orange juice, puts a little lid, and then gives Bernard actually a wingy thumbs up, and then toddles off.
You're lucky
Ruin,
that one's the rock hopper.
it is indeed Rockhopper. Yes, Ruin, your seemingly by magic, your food is now made to go.
Cool. Yeah, Ruin does smell like brimstone, by the way. Just like sulfur and brimstone.
Again, there's a fire genasi here. Someone who I'm not sure can smell. And Irai is already judging people. You know, just
I think
Allowed all the time,
yeah.
you know.
I think she might pull out a water skin and just be like, "Have you got anywhere to dump this?"
Oh, you just want to get rid of? Do you want a freshwater skin or?
Preferably. This is. I don't even want to tell you what this is.
Yes, folks. It's probably not good water in there. You sort of like as you hold it out, you watch as like a fresh water skin toddles in. It kind of the water skin's put in front of you. You feel Ruin something taking the water skin out of your hands. I've been carrying it back. Yet another. It's a different penguin this time, Bernard. But
Jackass.
good. Bernard's got good knowledge of penguins. Bernard has spent some time at the zoo.
You want to wait till the Emperors come out?
Oh, that's a special.
circus.
Yeah, that's birthdays. That's when birthday cake comes out, which is weird because Gatecrashers technically don't have birthdays because they renounce everything. But I mean, you can have a birthday.
Do they not have their Gatecrasher day? The day they became a Gatecrasher?
Officially, no, because that would give you too much connection. Also, you're in a void. You don't really know what time or date it is. Unofficially,
3 days in the void.
out here in the abyss. Unofficially, yeah, and you could technically argue that you need to catch. If you spend a lot of time on another plane, you need to catch up with your birthday, and Wintermas and the solar eclipse. Any excuse to have a delicious cake, and then the Empress Penguin can come.
Presumably the assistants have birthdays.
The assistants do have birthdays. Similar problem about being able to track it, but it is sometimes a case of like, oh, you've been away from this amount of time, you joined here,
I guess in some universes, technically your birthday.
I mean, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, and it probably is your birthday in
Somewhere.
Birthday on some plane.
Yeah. Note for next time, folks. See if you can order the cake.
All right.
Yes.
Shall we go find this?
Adventure. Yes, I suppose so.
Well, the person who called us is what I was thinking, but yeah.
Yes. You all get up from your seats. You are taken out of the canteen. The canteen, which again they've done some good attempts at cleaning, but there's still scorch marks. There's still faded blood stains on the floor where revolution happened. It seems that the penguins aren't so good with a scrubbing brush, but they try their best.
I have tried to prestidigitate those stains, and they still won't go away.
Yeah, it's almost like the wood of the place remembers. You are now escorted, and folks, I've kept promising this, so this is where they're going to meet, into the Great Portrait Hall. It is a massive, tall tower, and the portraits on the wall. Again, actually, Bernard can see the penguins that work here, who, for the rest of you, you're watching as like the portraits are like being hung and moved around. You can see that these penguins can like levitate. They can't fly, but they're sort of levitating and they're moving around. There's various portraits on the wall. You can see right near the top there is the portrait of yet again a red-haired individual. Blood all around their mouth. You can kind of see stitches, and they're just grinning maniacally. It does say Loki on it. You can actually, for Bernard, for one of the first times in about a year, you see the portrait of your Gatecrasher, Gatey, a large mechanical being, like drums down. It's quite weird because it's obviously they've taken his Gatecrasher portrait and they're like, oh, we've added like the yellow fire and the blood on the hands, but there's still like a jovial look to him of being like this cool, chill drummer dude. Various things such as there's a series of like animal portraits. Like there's a beaver, there's a pelican, there's an otter. There's a gap on the wall where what looks like a raccoon has been moved from problem to friend. El Bandito looks as angry in that portrait as you would expect. Also, weirdly, a portrait of a elven woman looking very scientific has also been moved from great problem to we don't know. As Dr. Durrani, who technically saved the world, but is still very much in a questioning position. As you come in, like the portraits moving around, the portraits of the Gatecrashers all kind of like move into position. Bernard, your portrait that you personally sat for does sort of sink down and clicks in. Can you describe what you think your like official portrait would look like?
If they took into account all of Bernard's suggestions, then he would have been sat there, guitar in hand, actually not sat, stood on a rock, and just a mighty chest of flaming hair. And just looking majestically off out of the corner as if something interesting is happening in the picture next to him.
Stark naked.
Yes, protected by the guitar.
Which you can
I would
see
point out
flames behind,
personally-
right?
Huh?
You can see flames behind
Yeah,
the guitar,
You can see the
right?
flames.
A halo of flames behind the guitar.
Because it's all her. It is on fire.
And as previously mentioned, personally sat for this picture as well.
Personally,
Yes.
posed.
This Bernard, your bandmate Gatecrasher, basically has a choking fit that she's laughing so hard that she hasn't seen that portrait before, and literally is bent over wheezing. And just, you can see other Gatecrashers being like, "Oh, good lord," because obviously you've been up in the section which is like not absence without leave, but away. And now you've been moved back into the mission. Syrah, you also have your own portrait already made. What do you think? It has been removed from the portrait with Nanny, but what do you think? Did you pose for your portrait?
Only in the sense of if you take a picture of a suit of armor that's set up at a museum with its pole arm, and it's just completely like deadpan, sort of kind of at attention. I mean, like she doesn't have expression in their face or body, so it is literally just like a small suit of armor with a face and a pole arm.
Adorable. That's there. Ruin Eri, your portraits are being weirdly, as you look again. Bernard is aware of this, as there is a couple of there's groups of these penguin creatures with like their little easels, and they're basically painting like a temporary, like a speed portrait of the two of you standing there and like looking slightly confused in the doorway. It's implied that that's just there as like a record keeper, and you could possibly get it. I mean, you could make a request if you wanted, but I've got a feeling neither of you really. That's not your priority now, but it's something to consider. Yes, as a speed portrait's been made.
I just snuggle into my dressing gown.
It's so cozy, which unfortunately it's not been included in your official Gatecrasher portrait of. You might, if you come back from this one, you might need to have a word, unless you want.
Well, I mean, what color is this dressing gown?
It is.
Is it rainbow colored?
Is it like the dressing gown equivalent of the I Am Knuff hoodies?
Yes. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. No. Wow. They're such a fun group. These
Sublime.
Sublime. You could imagine Gatecrashers screaming "Sublime" from behind a door. That's that kind of the vibe. Yes.
I imagine in Era's like even quick sketch, there's still like this almost yellow blob behind them in the portrait.
Of the light, yeah. Actually, it's sort of like again, they look at the. You sort of see the Gatecrashers nose and look at it, and then look, and then sort of one of them walks over and starts sort of. Bernard, you probably Bernard and Syrah would know. I'm probably not going to make. Bernard might have to just roll a history. Both of you roll a history check to know.
Sure. Oh, now I get a high roll. 27.
So
13.
Bernard, okay. Syrah, you're not sure. Bernard, you know that the Broken Glass expedition, the way that this god was corrupting people was what was known colloquially as the yellow bullshit, which was like a miasma, a yellow mist, which is a very similar colour to the one that is behind Eri. And they're kind of like, what the Gatecrashers are like, no, that's not what's happening here. We can't, like, you can see in Gatey, there's the yellow mist pouring out of his eye holes. They're like, no, use a different colour. Yes, it's yellow, but it's not that yellow. We don't want people getting confused and thinking that Eri is corrupted by the universe.
Look, mix the silver in, make yourself some sort of gold. It represents the kind of light.
No.
I wish I could understand that.
You see, again, one of them toddles off and then comes back has like silver coins, and then just looks, and then for the rest of you, just see like a pestle and mortar going as they start crushing up. So like, just yeah. The elven, the half elf Gatecrasher is like, well, first of all, as you can see, your official portraits. So, the mission that I have been granted by Keeper, I will escort the 4 assistants. The other Gatecrashers have been kind of like, this is also a training day for me. I'm supposed to be able to handle these 4. Yes, we are going to be escorting a prisoner back to face a trial, I'm afraid. Someone who is of, well, actually, I think the less details we know, the better, right? And the 4 of you, I know Bernard was particularly, Mr. Hart, kind of smiles at you slightly. Bernard, you recognise when you see a fan. There's someone who's like, oh wow, okay. Yes, give you an opportunity. Yeah, a little bit, like the slight blush of like, oh my goodness. Yes.
Please, call me Bernard.
Bernard? The redhead Gatecrasher is like, I'm also, and she's like, yes, no, Gatecrasher, I also enjoy your violin, but Gatecrasher sort of like looks around and is like, is everyone just going to keep insulting me today? Is that what's happening? I haven't been back here 2 days, and this is apologies, Gatecrasher. Yes, so if you 4 are ready, we can begin the mission. Unless there's anything in particular you want to do before we go. No. Okay.
Can't see any reason not to.
About ready to get out of this place?
I do have a query. We'll turn to Ruin. You do look somewhat undernourished. Are you sure that you do not eat?
I eat, but I'm not particularly hungry right now.
I'll insight check. That's the 14.
Oh, it's a natural 1 for a lie.
Incorrect. Your body requires sustenance. You should consume your soup in your private quarters before we leave.
Rin kind of looks at everyone else and is like, is this not a time-sensitive issue?
I mean, if you haven't had your soup, it's not a good idea. Well, sometimes it's a good idea to travel on an empty stomach when it comes to this. I mean, please, we can probably. I'll go make.
Soup does not take long to consume, and if we are to be heading out on a mission, the team ought to be at maximum efficiency.
Ruin, your Gatecrashers, like, there's private rooms around here if you just want to go be in private. It's not that far. You don't need to go back to your actual room.
I think she just kind of stiffens whilst everybody's kind of
observing.
Making a fuss over, I think, is the big thing. And she'll say, it's been years since I've showered in anything but blood, so maybe I'll just go. And she'll turn on a heel and start to walk to her room, and then she'll throw her hand up into the air to say goodbye and say, I'll see you in 15 back here.
15 minutes to collect ourselves before the mission, then.
The white-haired elf is like, I got, and the blonde was like, no, don't ask questions. Yeah, but there's definitely, hey, gets up, hey, she is going through some shit right now, and she doesn't need you asking questions about what isn't in her pocket, okay? just pokes. Like, ow, don't poke. Sorry, she's a good kid. She doesn't need... If she needs to go eat her soup in private, she can eat her soup in private. That goes for the rest. Oh, the other Gatecrashers are like, we don't care. You know?
Should we be concerned about the contents of her pockets?
The elf, the white-haired one says yes. The blonde says no. They say it in sync, and then they kind of like look at each other, and then the younger half elf just like, no. If Gatecrasher thinks it's fine, then it's everything's fine.
I turn to my throat queen.
Yeah.
Gatecrasher.
Yeah. I think everything's fine. You know, if the Gatecrashers say it's good, everything's good. Nothing to worry about.
Very well.
Syrah?
Yes.
Again, I'm going to ask you to make a history roll.
Oh. So many history rolls, and I'm not great at it.
I'm just making you flash back.
That's an 11.
Yeah. Again, your new not a robot friend has a strong smell of brimstone.
Do I have olfactory senses?
Good question. Do you think you do?
I don't.
Do you have something that would let you
diagnostics in the
pass?
Yeah. Can I
Pass
diagnose
sense.
smells?
I mean, do you want to run a diagnostics as we're waiting for Ruin to finish her soup?
Maybe I will run a diagnostic on this sample of air that I collected somehow from near where Ruin was.
You could probably find like probably actual dirt on the ground from
That's
where she's
fair.
walking.
Yeah.
She'd be caked in it.
Yeah.
She's literally, like she said, not showered in anything but blood for maybe years.
So you just got blood flaking off you as well as dirt.
She honestly is probably caked in dirt. Like she's got tan skin, but it looks like she's been living under a bridge for hundreds of years.
You've been here for a while, but I also assume you haven't let anyone get near your armor to like, oh, we'll go clean it for you. You kept it, you know. So yeah,
the armor's contained in a little box.
Yeah. So you just like, did you just not have a? They would have offered you a shower, but you're like, no.
Well, she's only been there for like a day.
Yeah,
do you know what I
a day,
mean?
you know. You have your
Probably
soup
spent
first.
most of that time talking.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes, there might be some flakes of gunk on the floor, Syrah.
Dried
Earth.
earth.
Dried earth. Just a muddy gal.
I'll lean down and take a sample and examine it, sure.
Beep, 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 beep. Yes, brimstone. Obviously from the hells. And just like a memory pops back of a fiery mark in a carpet somewhere, and a very battered tin of a sewing kit containing iced biscuits just sitting next to it.
I'm going to put the little flake of mud in the tin of biscuits.
You open this tin for the first time in a while. Do you look inside?
I feel like she's opened the tin, like, in the meantime.
Yeah.
Occasionally just got to check in on the status of the biscuits.
They're a bit. They're
It's not good.
They're
Yeah, it's not good.
Stale.
There are biscuit bugs.
Biscuit bugs?
Biscuit bugs? No.
Biscuit bugs.
We can't be having biscuit bugs. They will
Okay.
have been eradicated.
Cleaned.
There
I will
were
smite them.
there were smited biscuit bugs. But
So the rest of them-
there are no biscuit bugs now.
The rest of the biscuits are rather charred.
Yes, yeah, you have managed to. you've only- yes.
Lots of burnt biscuits.
Unless anyone else has got anything.
I think
Ruin. Yeah.
Irai would have just, as Ruin left, settled into a meditative pose, which just happened to be in front of the penguins that are working on this portrait.
Get me in my good light.
Mhm. And the skin begins to glow with that inner light as well.
Oh.
No, there's none of this. It's very much kind of sitting, hands folded, eyes closed.
The penguins flap at each other, gesture, nod, and then again speed painting this what is a better looking.
Just cross out the last one.
Yeah, just the ones who were working on ruins were like, you know, and then they were like, I think we remember a mask. The mask now looks probably, for being quite scary, looks even like scarier from their memory.
No,
Yeah.
Ruin's portrait is going to be covered in dirt and brimstone and everything else, and then you're going to come back completely clean, and then they'll be like,
Cross that
Do
out.
it again.
Tom,
Yes.
when Ruin comes back, would you say that this kind of period before we start the mission would count as a short rest?
Yes, I would.
In which case, once Ruin is back and can also take advantage of it, I would like to be using Song of Rest. I say rest, I mean, it's just the title of the ability. I'm actually playing for those about to rock. We salute you.
Oh, she says she's going to be 15 minutes, but it takes her like a solid hour to come back.
Running water.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was going to
God.
say, yeah, that alone.
I think we do just see that image of like Ruin like hands up against the wall, just as water and like years of gunk and earth is just washing off. We can't see Ruin's face, but we know. Hopefully, we know something's hair.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Her long hair that's usually tied up is just completely covering her.
Ruin, are you making use of all the shampoos and the soaps?
She's probably that's probably what's taken her so long.
Yeah.
She's like, what does this button do? Oh,
Yeah. There's so much different types of like, because again, this is a multi-special, place. So there are varieties of like shampoos, conditioners, oils, waxes. There's just you're just like pressing the buttons, and you're like, oh, cool, great, this one.
turtle wax.
Yeah, literally, like.
Give it a go.
Or should I say total wax?
There it is.
Okay. For those of you who've been left behind, where they just like go, do we go get the blonde ones? Again, so the problem, folks, I just have to be like, there is a blonde gatecrasher. There is one in a ring. It's just like, no, just let her. Gatecrasher. I'll tell you what. I'll go check on the prisoner. And the half elf's like, okay, Gatecrasher, if you think that's wise.
Will this be an issue?
We just need to make sure that we meet the transfer time. I mean,
This was not specified before we permitted Ruin to go and eat her soup.
the half elf is just like, I thought it was just going to be a soup trip. I didn't realise. The Furbog's like, that's your problem, old chap. You've got to take your time with these things. That if you are presented with soup, maybe there's the opportunity for a crusty bread roll or a lovely cup of tea. All the other gatecrashers are just like, There are many sorts of teas, you must understand. There's the oolong. The blonde's like, cool.
I think this gatecrasher is just making fun of me and my tea cupboard now.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. And now we get on to it tastes of mint, but isn't mint.
Then there's Red Bush, which looks like robust, but it's actually pronounced
Roybosh.
Robosh. The blonde gatecrasher keys himself out. The redhead gatecrasher is also like, turns to Bernard and is like, listen, again, you don't need me on this, right? It's just.
I mean, if you don't want to come along, you don't have to.
I mean, I think I've got. I'll catch you after. You know, I just. Bernard, again, you've spent a long time with this woman. Something's going on. You're not quite sure. Do you want to make an insight or?
Yeah, why not? 5.
Something's up.
All right, you take your time.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll catch you when you're back. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna see if I can try and arrange some other dates, maybe. You know, if you still want to rock out.
Always.
Fist bump. Literally, there's the explosion. The fist bump is the fire. Again, for something
others of us perceive this. Well, no, not like the insight. This into it.
Definitely be prestidigitation, flames around the fists.
Yeah. Also, above the table, for those of you who have met this Gatecrasher before, she's not an elf. She's a dragon. An actual dragon, and that little hat's part of the disguise. So if you were going to burn her, it wouldn't be such a problem. But also, the prestidigitation of you got to do your sparkles. Eri, do you think you are in your meditative state? You are paying attention to.
Of course, always paying attention.
Okay. Do you want to make an insight roll on that conversation?
Yeah. Nothing. My passive insight is so much better because I rolled a 3, which makes it a 7. My passive insight is a 14.
You flick an eye open, and you kind of, like a mirror, are looking into a version of you sitting peacefully, and then you just sort of see something as they paint in what a half-open eye of yours looks like, and then tap, tap. The page is coming along quite nicely, considering they've got an hour to work on it.
The perception is high, the inside not so much.
You know, something's up with Gatecrasher, but you haven't shared 10 words with this woman. Just seems a bit off. Okay, so, folks, an hour is going to pass as
I don't know. I feel if the Gatecrashers are looking stressed about the time.
Yeah.
I think Syrah will look to the blonde Gatecrasher and be like, she is your charge and she has clearly undergone something quite traumatic. Why do you not go and check in on her? Offer her a biscuit, perhaps.
You know,
Gatecrasher always said that biscuits help.
Ooh. Again, I just keep making. What's your passive insight, Syrah?
15.
This Gatecrasher sort of kind of clicks his tongue a bit, and again, how good do you think you are with picking up on sort of unspoken, unspoken thoughts? The fact that he just kind of slightly clicked his tongue and rolled his eyes, sort of.
Only those that Nanny would have told Sarah to look out for. They always do this, or when he does that, it means this.
So, yes. When you sort of said, Nanny gave a biscuit, it's sort of he's not being rude, but he doesn't seem to be, for you, wouldn't be as polite to the honor that is Gatecrasher or Nanny, sort of above the table, it was being sort of being she gave a biscuit. It's that's probably how she ended up being disappeared. He's two very different working vibes here. That he's sort of No,
Do you
absolutely.
take umbrage with providing someone with a small, comforting, sugary snack when they are sad?
Maybe, Sarah, if more people offered those in need small sugary snacks, we wouldn't quite be in the same situation as we currently are. But the worlds don't quite work like that, do they?
I think you are taking what could be just a small, kind gesture to a new person here in our facility to mean a metaphor for something larger, institutionally wrong with this company. I was merely suggesting that in this situation, Ruin may appreciate you checking in, especially if time is tight.
I'll go check on this Ruin. Yeah. Good talk, Sarah. The half elf's like, I could. No, it's fine. I mean, what's an extra hour for her, considering all the things she's done? Spins the key. Those of you who are watching, can see a icy, wasteland, storm blowing. Those of you with high perception and who are sort of kind of paying attention can see there seems to be a small hut. They're like a little light in the distance. The blonde gatecrasher sort of walks through. The key spins, disappears. The Furbolg gatecrasher's like, yep, I'll go offer a cup of tea and a biscuit. There are many sorts of biscuits as he starts walking away. So they're currently... So blonde, yeah, there's only the younger, seemingly junior gatecrasher left.
Where's my toy Crean gone?
Oh, yes, actually, your Crean is like...
He just went off. He was like, nah.
Sometimes I forget that I'm here. I sometimes disappear into
Sometimes
the
I
background.
forget I exist.
I care that I'm here.
I also care that you are here.
Oh,
Did
thank
I
you.
overstep the mark again?
He's not a very nice gatecrasher. He gets things done, and maybe I'm overstepping the mark here. Looks at the other, the half elf is like, you can have your opinions, gatecrasher. Yes, no, true. I for one think it's a nice thing to offer a biscuit to those in need, and I think what you're doing is admirable. Yes.
And you are correct.
Better than being incorrect, right?
Right.
Again, a look between that gatecrasher and the younger gatecrasher. The younger gatecrasher kind of with one of the hands, he's like, Ruin, how's as you're now toweling your hair off? How are you feeling?
Hair's turned into a cat.
Yeah. Now you've got cat hair. Meow.
Meow.
You tried the Tabaxi shampoo then?
Yeah.
Again, sort of yes, you've managed to wash out years worth, but again, that stuff sinks in deep. But you are now. Again,
I think she gets out of the shower, drying herself, and starts to prestidigitate her hair, dry, and probably walks in front of a mirror without a mask on for the first time in years, and just stares at her face for a good long minute. And just summons the armor and smashes the mirror to pieces. Then gets the armor off, starts to get dressed again, and just walks over all the broken glass with her bare feet. Doesn't bother her. And she just puts the iron mask on, gets changed back into the clothes, but prestidigitates them clean and just spends the time just cleaning them and making sure that they are suitable again. Then just resaddles everything back on, picks up the carton of orange juice, just gets the straw, puts it underneath the mask and sucks the last bit out with a nice like long...
Did we get to see your face, or is it that sort of thing like with the mist, we can just like see the eyes?
Yeah, I think it's just the back of her head is what you would have seen.
Yes, that sort of thing, like we can see the...
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And then she walks back out of the room, looks back at all the glass on the floor and just sort of scratches her head and wonders whether or not she should tell somebody about that. But then just closes the door and leaves.
You hear it clicking. The doors around here react to the individual touch. So rather, for a place that's obsessed with keys, there aren't keys to the door. It's just sort of like it opens.
It's a biometric key.
It's biometric. It's science. As you're heading back, one of the Gatecrashers, the Furbolg Gatecrasher that seems to have yes, Rune. I was just coming to check.
She walks past, going back to where she was going.
Hopefully you've had your soup. Now, there are many types of soup. Now, it's quite interesting what could be considered a soup, and maybe a tea, literally just talking your ear off as you come back to the portrait room. This younger Gatecrasher sort of looks up and says, you feeling better? You feeling prepared?
I felt fine and I continue to be fine. She ties her hair up. Are we ready to go?
I mean, ready if you're ready for us. Bernard, you seem to be...
still playing, just noodling away.
Yeah. I just... You heard her coming down the corridor. So yes, that's that song of rest. Sean, what does that do for our hearty party?
You get 1d6 worth of hit points. Which is that right? Oh no, it's not. I thought it was 10 HP. Been a while since I played a bard.
That's fine.
If anyone's missing hit points and you're rolling hit dice, you get an extra d6.
You have an inspiring speech. Is that what
for
you
10
mean?
minutes.
Yeah.
Also, Niall, I did a thing where it took off your max hit points. That's cured now.
Yeah, I was assuming I'd long rested between being picked up and...
Yeah. They got the poison out of you. Yeah.
This is what happens when you only skim read things. No, I do not have the inspiring leader feat. I spent all of my stuff just getting the cool combat things that stack.
And instead, I got you to hit a dock worker. So maybe we'll have some nice combat in the next episode. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I never know what's happening. That's why there's so many penguins working here. This is indeed the moment that this young Gatecrasher again picks up the key, holds it palm of his hand, spins. Key spins. For Bernard, you can recognise this as a C major, the chord that's played as the key spins. I can remember the C major. I can't remember the colour. Retroactively, I'll probably begin the next episode to explain what colour that the key turns as this planar travel occurs. The key opens up, and now you are unfortunately presented, especially for our far Genasi friend, with a great big icy plane. It is cold, it is unpleasant. You all step through.
I put the armor on before stepping through.
The armor clicks in.
I think if we think our destination is sort of relatively close to the other side of the portal, then I'll cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
That's not a terrible idea. Anything else you two want to prepare before we travel to this new world?
I was just going to say that it isn't cold to me because everywhere is cold to Bernard, so he permanently just wears a ring of warmth. So yeah, I'm unharmed by temperatures as low as -50 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's not that cold. I mean, Irai, who once again is not wearing a shirt, it's not pleasant, but yeah,
I'm fine.
Doesn't matter.
yeah. Bernard's got no problem as you slightly sort of like sink into the snow a bit as you like your heat just boils.
I'm sure it's not pleasant, but like they has trained themselves to withstand many different environments. So
Then you're fine. You do indeed step out into this icy plain. Those, and you sort of like those of you who kind of. I'm trying to think who actually paid attention when the portal opened about an hour ago.
I wasn't there. So.
You weren't there, yeah.
I think Ciro would have because
Yeah.
they were confused because they were under the impression that having spoken to the blonde Gatecrasher that he was going to go speak to Ruin.
Yeah.
And then was like, why
Why
are
are
you
you
going
not?
that way?
No, yeah, that blonde Gatecrasher is like, yeah, I'm going to go deal with the prisoner.
yeah, I would have.
You would have paid
I would
attention?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the passive perception is just observing everything, not
Yeah.
necessarily understanding everything, but observing everything.
Bernard, do you think you paid attention?
I think Bernard's more annoyed that because we kind of waited around for so long. See invisibility ran out, so eventually he couldn't see the penguins anymore. And was kind of like, do I do it? Do I not? Wasted time. All right. So I think he's probably just more annoyed about that. I'll roll a perception, but
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Apart from Ruin, if everyone can just roll perception.
But I have a passive of 19.
I mean, if you want to use your passive as you're just looking around,
What about an investigation check?
you can.
17.
Oh, 17.
10.
Sarah.
10 on the dice, but my 10 total, but my passive is 15.
I tell you what. Also, I mean, Ruin. It probably won't mean much to you. You can roll perception because you're just like, hey, there might be a thing.
Meh. I think that's a 9 in total.
Ruin, how well did you dry your hair?
I prestidigitated it, so
Yeah,
pretty
do you think
well.
it's pretty,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well, but it's like even like when you've like toweled off, there's just enough that you're like once you've gone out into the cold, your hair's just a little bit like.
I reckon
yeah.
it's being in the armor
Yeah,
whilst knowing I'm clean again. It's like, oh, this is strange.
this is a weird.
It's a strange feeling.
You
There's more
put-
space in here.
You put dirty armor back on and some very clean skin. I think actually all of you sort of looking. Those of you who looked through the portal earlier saw that there was a tiny little hut lit up. That hut's not there anymore. It's just, and again, as you sort of like squint at a distance, you just sort of see the burnt remains of what used to be that hut. And Gatecrasher just goes, oh, shit. And that, folks, is where we're going to stop for the evening. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have enjoyed what we've been putting out, we play Dungeons and Dragons every Monday and Tuesday. So now goes into our rave. That's 6 p.m. GMT or BST, or Roll Together RPG on Twitch. Yes, is everyone enjoying Tom's Big Adventure, in which everyone goes for picnics? If you don't want to be able to see Niall basically living out the Great Gatsby, you can listen to us on podcasts. It should be available on all of your podcast catchers. I think they still call it that. I don't think they ever called it that. What are you talking about, Tom? Focus. You're coming so close to the end. Aggregates. social media, Roll Together RPG on all the socials. Massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. I canonically can't do the heart symbol, so I do the little monsters symbol from Lady Gaga.
Sure, you can do that.
Yes, but I won't.
Isn't that just Italian?
No. Look, there's the little.
Oh, it's like making a little love heart. That's
mini
very clever.
hearts.
Hey, give us the goats. So yes, for £1 or £5, which does equate to goats, which, as we've established on this episode, I do have a problem with the number of goats I've got. Please do take them off my hands. I don't know what to do with them. You can come see some of our blooper reels. You can see our wonderful newsletters. And every month we try and do something a little bit different, something a bit fun. That can be either a solo game, or maybe it's an audio drama, or maybe some of us will do you a nice drawing. Who knows? I don't control that stuff, but I should. The power. No, please, I don't want it. I'm very tired, folks, so I'm just going to say once again thank you to our supporters and our sponsors, and like we say at the end of every episode, when you're on a time crunch, make sure to go wash your hair. See you next time, folks.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
See you.
And you.
And you. Watch it.